What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, you obviously can tell that I'm not in the office today. I'm not in the studio. I have a lot to do today, so I had to just get this video out super quick. This is going to be very short today, guys, but I did want to talk about the upcoming event tomorrow. A lot of people are still confused as to what it means for the price of Bitcoin. What happens if the Fed raises 100 BPS or, 75 BPS? And then there's also some other things we need to talk about as well. So I wanted to share this with you, and obviously if you guys enjoy this content, feel free to like. Obviously it helps for these shorter videos, and do share this video if you think it was helpful. And quick side note before we get into the video, I just wanted to remind you guys that the Palm Swap sale is now officially live. Remember, that's only going on for 3 days. It is an absolutely fair launch, which means everyone gets the token for the same price, and all of the tokens are unlocked at the end. So it is a very fair launch, essentially, right? It's full-on price discovery, and obviously this token will have utility. It will be burned, on transactions. So if you guys are interested, make sure you check the link below. And if you don't know how to get involved in that because it says that it's outside of the jurisdiction, well, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but I'm sure someone in the comments will let you know how to handle that. So let's talk about the real reason that you guys are all here, and that's because of the big Fed meeting tomorrow. Now, if you guys were following me over on Twitter, you saw that I did post this poll, and obviously the majority are anticipating for there to be a, losing my camera here, excuse me guys, for there to be a 100 basis point raise, right? Now there are 75 basis point raise, excuse me. Now that is exactly what the markets are anticipating, right? And we could probably say that a lot of the reason that we saw this negative price action was because of the Fed, Powell, the CPI data coming out, right? Being a little bit more hawkish than usual. And, the tone of him basically saying that we realize that there's going to be more pain to come. That's essentially why we saw that dump. Now, I am of the camp that is pricing in the 75 basis point raise. But here's the thing. They're also going to be talking about their projections, right? So that's why this time is a little bit different. They're not only just going to raise rates, but they're also going to project, what they see for the future, how they feel that they're going to tackle it. And we also have to pay very, very close attention to the tone of the speech. Now, there also is the possibility that because they were unhappy with the CPI data, that they will, in fact, go with a 100 basis point raise. Now, I'm going to talk about what would probably happen most likely in both of these scenarios. So just because I've been watching this, we've been watching what happens. Usually you have these pumps that lead up to the moment and then dumps, or vice versa. So what could we anticipate this time? Well, this is what I truthfully believe. This, of course, is just my opinion, but it is based on what I've been watching in the markets recently. So if we do get the 75 basis point raise, right, assuming that, let's say, Powell, the tone and the projections kind of stay in line with the fact that we believe that inflation is coming down, then I do believe that we are going to have a rally. But here's the thing. I think that because the 75 basis point raise is the safest bet right now, what I think we could see is a short-term rally, maybe up to some of these previous levels, right? And then we may actually get rejected and then continue to the downside. And you might be saying, well, isn't that what everyone's expecting? Yes, it is what everyone's expecting, but it also means that, there is sort of that uncertainty, they're not like ripping the Band-Aid off 100%, but they haven't quite lowered it to 50 just yet. So what might end up happening is a short-term rally, and then I think the markets may actually cool off, come back down, and instead wait to see what, Powell and everyone does the next time around. Sounds weird, but that's what I think will happen. That's what I've seen how the markets have reacted recently. Now, if we get the 100 basis point raise, right, 1 full %, markets are most likely certainly going to tank because this is going to show that they're dead serious. This is the highest one that they've done so far. And as most people were expecting 75, this would technically be considered bearish, right? So what would that mean? Well, what it would mean is a short-term, massive price sell-off, right? Probably have a very deep sort of capitulation wick or something like that. But here's the tricky part. I think that if they actually went through with 100 basis points, then I think that that would actually show that they are ripping the Band-Aid off, and people might actually assume that that would be the last, that would be the final, that would be the bottom, just kind of going out with a big bang, right? Because Powell doesn't want to be remembered, as the money printer guy, right? So that is sort of my projections. Now, if you guys want to talk, about different levels, what could we expect? Well, ultimately, what we really just want to do on the charts is we want to make sure that we get, if we do have bad news, if markets do start dumping tomorrow when the news comes out, we want to maintain above that sort of capitulation wick that we had on June 18th, which is right around 17.6K, right? We really don't want to fall below that, because if we fall below that, then that means that we are putting in essentially a lower low. And that's not good for the market structure, considering that we're already in a major downtrend, right? So that's that situation. And obviously be careful of these scam wicks, right? Because there always is that possibility that you get that massive dump to the downside, but then, you know, it could be bought up instantly, and it could be a scary time to be trading. So I would be a little cautious of that. So that's the first thing. So what is the worst case scenario? Well, if we have a look at the weekly candles, right? Because obviously we're sitting, well, actually we fell below the previous all-time high. So ultimately, the level that we would be looking at next on the weekly is where we had this sort of consolidation around the $16,300 level, roughly, depending on which exchange you're looking at, right? So 16,300, if we were to fall, if we did get the bad news, that is the next level that I would anticipate. And, you know, not financial advice, but that could be a good level to put some buys in, or to, you know, maybe set up a long with it, you know, you can't even say tight stop loss, because these type of capitulation wicks are the types of things that would stop out the trade, right, intentionally. So, but ultimately, like I said, the low would be around 16,300. That's the weekly candle. And if worst case scenario, we did have that mega super crazy crash, you know, like it just gets out of control, liquidation cascade, well then yes, guys, the ultimate level, which I've been talking about for months on this channel, would be down around 14K. And technically, it's kind of between 13.8K and 14K. And that's because that's where we had the monthly close for the 2017 high, right? Super significant level, lots of activity around there, lots of candles, right? So that's sort of like the doom and gloom scenario. Now on the flip side, let's say that we get good news, right? Let's say 75 basis points, which is what everyone's expecting, and Powell comes out and they seem like they're leaning a little bit more dovish, right? They're feeling confident in the markets. Well, then I do think markets will rally, although, as I said, we still are in a major downtrend. So I would have my next level at around 21.8K. You can see right here in the charts why that level is so significant. Lots of interaction, lots of confluence with that level. But if, you know, also on top of it, we do have a very major downward sloping trend. So that is two resistances that we have to get through. And in my opinion, we could see a massive pump on the day. But like I said, I think that that pump would get rejected at least one more time, because we're not sure where they're going to go next. If they're definitely going to, you know, keep doing the 75s or go to 50s, something like that. But as I said, sounds a little counterintuitive, but I do think if they did the 100, it would be terrible for the markets. But I do think that that would probably be the worst. You know, obviously we have a lot more data to come out, but that's essentially what I'm looking at. So, you know, if you like this video, share it with friends, go back. I'm going to put the charts over. I'll throw them over real quick so you guys can see the levels that I'm talking about. And of course, if you guys do want to check out the Palm Swap token sale, you have 3 more days for that. Like I said, it's going to be derivatives, perpetual on-chain trading. I think that's really awesome, and 10x leverage, and the token does have utility, so check that out, guys. And if you do want to learn how to trade, obviously make sure that you check out these videos popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. Thanks for dealing with me on this car ride. I think my camera holder thing is broken. I love you guys. You're awesome. I'll talk to you later. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.